makes sense.
I mean, this might be controversial, but
Go for it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with going through someone's phone. I think you should probably ask to, hey, can I have a look at that? Or can I have a look at this? Or, you know, but if like no one should have anything to hide on their phone. There is no way that if I go through your phone and I say that you're cheating, that I'm in the wrong for that, you know?
So, okay, interesting. What if you ask and they say no?
Then
are you
are you
entitled to go through their phone?
No, but I would probably think that they're hiding something.
Do you not believe in privacy?
I do, but I don't have anything on my phone that I wouldn't, like, again, because I do social media, everything's so public. There is nothing on my phone if I'm in a relationship that you can't see, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's me. Like, I'm not hiding anything from anyone.
Sure. Well, I guess we'd have to ask, why would you feel the need to go through his phone?
I guess it's just the like intrusive like thoughts again, like just thinking about what they could be doing. I mean, yeah, no, it's not ideal. Like, you should trust someone if you're with them. Like, trust is a massive thing. I think you should trust someone, but you know, if you're up and you can't sleep for whatever reason and something's playing on your mind, I don't like, what is there in your phone that your partner shouldn't be able to see? I don't think there should be anything unless you're literally doing something wrong. Well,
I'd probably say there's multiple things, because, for example, there could be messages where he's talking about you to one of his best friends that he doesn't want you to see what he's saying. Okay. Because maybe it's like he's venting, like, oh, she freaking did this and I don't know how to handle this, etc. And that's a private conversation. Well, right?
To be fair, I wouldn't look through my partner's messages with their friends. Okay, what I'm looking for is other women there. That's what I'm looking for. I wouldn't go through, you know, like that. But that's
it's something
weird to say. I've got boundaries when it comes to.
I've got boundaries, but give me your phone.
But I'm breaking your boundaries, you know. But like, I wouldn't go through something like that because I can't imagine there being anything in there.
Okay, but what I'd say is that I've just named one thing.
Yeah.
Outside of the whole thing of him messaging another girl, that he might want to keep private for you to not see.
Yeah,
right?
Like, yeah.
And there could be plenty of other things, and you could come across that, right? Not saying that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But you could come across that going through his phone.
But like, ruining a surprise is not my concern. If I'm worried about something, like I need to like make sure that I'm not worried about something.
I understand that, but I think the issue is you're placing the responsibility on him, not yourself.
No,
because if you have an insecurity about something, and I empathize, completely empathize, because we all have our own insecurities, and especially when those thoughts are playing in your head, that's what creates that anxiety. And like, okay, if I just see it, I know if I see it, I'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. But the more you do that, the less you're healing the issue that's causing you to want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's like, I wouldn't be mad, obviously, in a relationship if someone went through my phone. That's just me, because I know there's nothing on there. But yeah, I can see how like other people would find it, especially if there's something like it's my birthday or something.
But not even that.
Surprise.
Not even that. But I mean, if it's like, if there was an insecurity playing on your mind, and he hasn't done anything wrong, how do you think that makes him feel? You questioning him to the point that where you're like, I want to go through your phone. He's like, I haven't done anything wrong. You can go through my phone, but the fact that you're questioning me, how do you think that does make him feel if there's nothing there, right?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. But it's also like, it's probably not his fault. It's probably not anything that he's done.
So why should he have to give you his phone?
But it's just me. And like, yeah, I get it. I do get it. Like, it's definitely not the best thing to do, but I guess it just like, it's not something that bothers me. Like, if you feel the need to go through my phone, I'd rather you just do it. And just see that I'm not doing anything wrong, rather than.
I get that, but I think I don't think that's an equivalent.
No, yeah. I mean,
do you know what would be an equivalent?
What?
Deleting your social media.
That's not happening. That's not happening. I wouldn't. That's something I would not do for anyone. Really? I don't think that's fair, because that's not fair.
Wait, didn't you say you said earlier that you felt that you wouldn't be networking, doing these events and stuff if you were in a relationship?
Yeah, but I would still do social media. I just wouldn't go to as much like events and stuff like that.
So there is no circumstance you meet your dream man. He's everything you want, right? And obviously you said you're studying psychology, right? So you've got your psychology career. there's no circumstance you would delete your social media
If
for
I
the
was
sake of...
not doing social media anymore, but then still no, because I like to post about what I'm doing. I like to take nice pictures and post it. That's what I enjoy. It's like a part of like who I am.
Would you make it private for only friends and family?
No.
Oh, Callie,
No, because that's so stupid. Like,
it's not stupid.
But the thing is, like, you meet someone in a certain way. If you met me and I do social media and then you ask me to delete it, that's stupid. Like, no, because it's how I am. It's what I've done before you've met me.
Why is it important that you have a public profile for others to see you?
I don't know. It's not even important. It's just that this is something I like. I'm not stopping doing something that I like that doesn't affect you, really.
How do you know it doesn't affect him?
Because I'm not doing it. If you want to go through my stuff to put your mind at ease, then that's fine. You can have a look. But like me posting pictures of what I'm doing and my day is not affecting you.
No, I didn't say posting pictures. That's why I said make it private for only family and friends. Like, why is it important for you that strangers see what you're doing with your life? If you have the man you want, you have the career that you want, do you know what I mean? If everything's already going well,
but
why is that really important to you?
It depends if I'm doing social media at that point. Like, if it's still something that I'm actively like pursuing, then obviously not. But
well, that's why I prefixed it with you've got your psychology.
If I was just doing that on its own with no social media.
Well, I know, as in like that's your main career, because that's what you said. You're working towards having that a high paying job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I said you're doing that, right? Like that's your main bread and butter, right? So social media is not like, oh, if you go without it, you're not going to starve by any means, because that's not even your main income. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think, again, it's just depending on, like, I don't know what situation I would be in. If I didn't care as much about social media, then potentially I think it'd be up for discussion. But it's just like it's not something like, I don't see why I'd have to do that.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you think if a guy had his own career, right, and he had social media, and you're like, hey, would you mind making your social media private for friends and family? Do you think he'd have an issue doing that?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't.
Really?
No. He'd be like, to be honest, let's be honest, it probably already is like that. But if it's not, he'd be like, yeah, sure. Why? Like, he doesn't do social media for work. That's not his main income.
But he makes money off of it and he gets opportunities from it. Right?
When you say opportunities, what do you mean? You said you wouldn't be going to networking stuff anyway.
But if they're doing social media as well, then that's a different situation.
No, but what I'm saying is he's got his main career.
Yeah.
Right? That's not social media. His main career is whatever it is that he's doing. Right? Let's say in psychology, or he's a medical professional. Right? And you're like, oh, I'd appreciate if, you made your social media private just for family and friends.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Most guys would, unless that's his main income, a guy would not have an issue with that. He would not have an issue with that. How you feel about that is exactly how a guy feels about you going through his phone. That's why I said it's not a fair equivalent. This is a fair equivalent.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, a hypothetical. You can go through your man's phone whenever you want to appease your anxiety, your insecurity, but you have to make your social media private for family and friends only. Are you doing that?
No.
Damn, she wants strangers to see her profile that much.
No, but I didn't. I kind of get where you're coming from, but I feel like one's like more controlling than the other. I feel like
going through the phone is very controlling. It's very invasive.
Invasive.
Is that good?
Yeah, no.
And the other one's not controlling.
I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that like it's not something that would bother me.
I actually think saying can we make our social media private for family and friends is not controlling. I think that's actually very protective.
It would be different maybe if I had a kid. It'd be different if the reason was, can we make it private because I would like to post pictures of our child, but I don't want random people to see them. That's a very different situation.
Why would that make a difference?
Because it's for someone's safety. Like, okay, if my future partner was like a fugitive and they were like, for my safety.
He's on the run.
Yes. If they were on the run.
He's the third Tate brother.
Exactly. And he was like, yeah, for that reason, can you make it? Okay, then fine. I probably wouldn't be with someone like that in the first place. But if that was the reason, if it was just, I don't know. I think if it was just because like, oh, I just don't like it. And I would just be like, but then why would you get with me? Because that's what I've done beforehand.
Well, this is why I said you've got your main career, right?
Yeah. So
the social media thing, it's purely a validational thing. Which is like, if we're being completely real, this is guys included, anytime we post something on social media, right, that's not like a paid collab. Anytime we post something, it's for validation. Everyone does that.
Yeah, I don't really post anything that's not a collab. So sorry, that's
No, but like
No,
to get to this
okay, no, I
point
get
though,
what
you
you're
would have
saying.
had to though.
Oh yeah.
And there would be posts.
Now, yeah.
Wait, is every single post you do now is a paid post?
It's not all paid, but a lot of it's like it's all gifted. I don't post just for no reason.
No, but what I mean is like part of you building an influence
Yeah.
is being the kind of page that people want to follow
But
for your
it's not
lifestyle,
always
whatever
like
it is.
validation from men. It's also, you know,
I didn't say from men.
from girls, from family. You know, I like my family to be able to see what I'm doing.
Well, that's why I said family and friends.
I know what you said.
It is though. Like, let's be honest, but I'm saying for guys as well. Anytime we post something online that someone is not paying us for,
Yeah.
right? We're doing it for validation. Everyone. And like for anyone to pretend that it's not that. If you're saying, oh, because people are like, oh, it's a nice photo, I just want to post it. If it's just a nice photo, just keep it in your phone and look back at it when you want to feel good. But the fact that we would post it, it's like we want other people to see that it's a nice photo. And there's nothing wrong with validation. There's nothing wrong with wanting validation, right? We're social creatures. But how important is the social validation compared to your relationship? And that's why I asked you that question. I'm going to be honest though, I'm surprised. I thought you would have definitely taken the I can go through his phone anytime I want. Because that sounded really important to you.
It's not really important to me. I feel like I can get to a point where like I would be fine. You know, I would
well, you
get
will now, so you can
comfortable,
keep your social media.
but you know, there is, especially in the beginning stages as well, when you're building that trust, like that's a time when maybe like those sort of thoughts would get to me and maybe make me want to. But I don't know. Like I also feel like, you know, if I do social media before, if that's something that's important to me before we get together, that's not something that's going to change during the relationship, which is why maybe that's not like a, you know, oh, I can go through your phone if I delete social media. Like, it's not, to me, that's not fair. That doesn't seem fair to me.
Well, that's why I didn't say delete. I meant just make private.
Private, but I don't know.
I'm not saying, look, I gave you a hypothetical, right? I'm not saying it's an absolute prerequisite. But when we get into a relationship, everybody makes compromises.
Yeah.
For the sake of the relationship, right?
Yeah. Something
that's important to you may not be important to him and vice versa, right? And so, because there are some people where they're like, okay, for the respect of our relationship. So let's say, for example, like some influencers, some girls, for example, depending on what kind of space they're in, they'll post very sexually provocative stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like in underwear, blah, 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 all of this stuff. When they're with a man, a lot of the guys would be like, I'm not comfortable with that. I think it's disrespectful to our relationship. Fair. But is that not the same thing as saying, okay, well, I was posting this before, so why do I have to change it now?
No, it's not the same.
Why is it not?
I feel like, you know, it's the same with like when I go out, I like to speak to lots of people, but when I'm in a relationship, I avoid men. It's the same as that to me. I just wouldn't. I have, because I was doing some work with some lingerie brands when I was in a relationship, and then eventually I was like, this isn't really what I want to do. I don't really like it. Like, he was fine with it. I could tell it bothered him a little bit. But it's not something I'd ever do again. And it's not something, to be fair, that I would do, not in a relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's different. I can't tell you why. It just is different to me. Like, I don't know.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think when you're in a relationship, there are things about you that you're like, I do this to respect and protect my relationship. And that's a standard you have. And that's a very attractive thing. A lot of guys would be like, I love that. So I think when it comes to like posting in underwear and stuff, you're like, yeah, I'm happy to not do that because I wouldn't do that for my relationship anyway.
Yeah.
There are a lot of girls that be like, well, if I was doing this before, why would you think I'm not going to do this now?
But then I feel like that is a fair thing to think.
Absolutely fair.
I feel like, you know, you get with someone knowing these are their qualities, this is what they do. You can't just come in and stop that just because you're now with them.
I agree.
You know, there's other little things like, oh, you know, maybe they don't like wash up after themselves or something like that. Like those things, yeah, fine. Like they're, you know, that's something that you can come and be like, I don't like that. That needs to change. But
I think there's a way of going about it. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's some things that you can't just come into a relationship and be like, this, you can't do this anymore.
Okay,
this
so
is part of that person.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you have an issue with like if your boyfriend was liking girls' photos to help engagement?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.